Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Sticks and Stones podcast. I am your host, Stone Fredrickson, and on this show, I like to explore the different minds and lifestyles of very successful content creators and entrepreneurs to try to provide you and I with as much valuable information as possible, so that way we can all become successful. And this episode is one of my favorite. I know I say that with a lot of my episodes, but this was really a truly remarkable episode and a truly remarkable story from one of my good friends, Kevin Miller. He's a LinkedIn expert. He runs his own LinkedIn agency where he helps people grow on LinkedIn, connect with people on LinkedIn, and spread their story and experiences on LinkedIn. So we go over how you can do that, how you can master LinkedIn, why every single one of you listening and watching should get on it, regardless of what you do, regardless of what platform you prioritize. Every single one of you need to be getting on LinkedIn. But we also go through his story of becoming a rising star in the music industry and going through all of these trials and tribulations that he had to go through, from being a star in school and getting A pluses with tests and not even having to take them, from going through cardiac arrests and comas and coming out of that and building the dream life and experiences that he wants to do. It's truly remarkable, the things that he has gone through and the story. I just can't wait for you guys to tune in and to listen to his story and his value about when it comes to LinkedIn, working with brands, the power of what LinkedIn can do, how you can network and communicate with people from the dream brands that you want to work with, all the way up to CEOs, CFOs, COOs. It's a huge tool that every single one of you need to be taking advantage of, and he's going to explain exactly how you can take full advantage of it, as well as he's giving every single one of you guys a free LinkedIn profile audit. So make sure to get that in the link in the description, and also check out all of his links in the description, and as well as mine. But also just go ahead and share this with one person. I just want to get this story and this value out to one more person. It got to you. Let's get it out to one more person. That would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And also, apologies for the audio. It might be a little bad on my end. I think my mic unplugged at the last second, but hopefully it's not too bad. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy. I just want to learn a little bit more about like your whole entire story and kind of like how you got into where you are now with LinkedIn and everything, what you're doing.
All right, man. Let's start from high school, maybe.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, man. So basically, I've always had a passion for songwriting. That's what I love to do. I make beats, rap, all that good stuff. Lunch table banging on the nut. Rap, freestyle, all that good stuff, man. So, I'll be honest, Stone. Like, at one point I thought, I'm probably going to be the next Kanye West. Now looking back at it, I can go, maybe that was a little ambitious, but you get the point. So,
yeah.
So that's what I was doing, man. I was making music and going to shows. I was selling CDs in junior high and high school, all of that. And I was building a personal brand. And through that process, I realized, like, hold on a second. How am I going to monetize this personal brand? Okay, we have a problem here. Because if all I can do is sell my music, but then I see all these big artists, they have all these businesses like real estate and all these other endeavors, right, investing, all these things. It's like, I'm missing something here. I'm not doing something right. I don't want to be making songs for the rest of my life. So I literally Googled, this was like freshman year of college. I literally Googled Stone. I Googled how to put your music in TV. And I just got so lucky, bro. I'm not even gonna front. First link I clicked on was like Reverb Nation. I don't know if any of y'all remember that website. It's like MySpace for musicians, right? Submitted. It was one of those weird submission panels that said, pay $30. We're gonna send your music to the music supervisor. Bro, when I tell you it actually works, 9 months later, I got a phone call that changed my life. And they say, congratulations, Kevin, your song is going to be in a major feature film in every theater in America. And that film went on to gross $42 million in the U.S. That was 2016.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So and then after that,
yep,
what were you thinking? Like, what was the mindset? What was it? I mean, were you
Man, my ego was out of control, bro. Just gonna be honest.
I know. Well, yeah. Whew. So how did you control that, and then how did you kind of determine like what was next?
Right. So remember how you were telling me like in high school you were like not sure who was really riding with you versus the clout and all that.
Yeah.
Man, it was just like that. So in college, you know, small college town, about 12,000 kids, you know, on campus, that kind of thing, and I remember this so clearly. I remember I walked into a party, Stone, one time, and literally there's like a bouncer kid right at the front door. And everybody saw that I showed up, right? And then all of a sudden, the party was my party as if it was my house, and I was the bouncer. And in that moment, I realized, like, oh, okay, this is some other shit. Like, this is dangerous. Like, this is not normal. This is not just like, oh, this is a, you know, big athlete on campus, big band on campus. No, this was like something way bigger than that. And I was, you know, I remember another story. You know, my final exam, I told my professor straight up, like, yo, I don't have time to do this. Someone asked me for a song, and it was for Fast and Furious 7. And I worked on the soundtrack. I didn't get the placement, but I worked on it, and I told all my professors, and they excused me. They just,
wow,
just like that, bro. And that's when I understood, like, okay, you can either use what you have right now for good or bad, right? You can use it selfishly, or you can understand, like, okay, you need to figure out how to make this some kind of positive where you get a win, but other people also get a win, right? And so when I graduated college, the problem was, right, I wasn't doing well in school. I wasn't paying attention, bro. I was just having fun. So I graduated and I couldn't get a job. So I was a security guard in a Microsoft building, and I was mad depressed, bro. I was like, damn, I went from in a movie getting my, you know, handshake with the president of the school and all this stuff, accolades, to in a loading dock, working grave shift at 22 years old, bro.
Wait a second. Let's backtrack.
Yeah.
What did you get from your music being in those movies? And did you get in, like, were you building connections? Were you just like, what was like the process like? Were you just making this music, sending it off? They would make it, they would send you a cut.
Yeah. So the thought process was, okay, I am not going to become a artist. So I'm just going to be a writer, and I'll make as much, you know, content, just like you, make as much content as possible. And sometimes some bigger brands, or I have a music publisher, right? And their job is to pitch my music to as many TV shows as possible. And so I was just doing that throughout college. And I, you know, to date, I landed over like 50 television placements, like Oprah Winfrey Network, MTV Catfish, MTV True Life, all these big shows. But then when I started getting the checks, Stone, this is what they don't tell you, right? It looks great on paper, and I'm just going to be honest to all my songwriters out there so you don't make the same mistake. You get paid in perpetuity every single quarter from your performing rights organization. Mine's BMI. And they're going to pay you every quarter, but it's going to be a couple dollars, literally. Because they're paying you back-end royalties unless you were the main placement on the television commercial. So I was making background cues, not the main music cue in a Nordstrom commercial. That's what they don't tell you, is unless you leverage your brand to get in the front, right, of the television commercial, like the main music slot, you're not going to see any real money. So I only made a couple $1,000s throughout my music career. And that taught me, like, oh, wow, I just spent 10 years of making all this music, and I made what I make in a day. It's like, damn.
Yeah, so basically they have multiple slots, multiple music slots per kind of
episode,
commercial or movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, per episode.
Yep.
And then if you're not like the top one, you're not getting obviously that huge check. Right. And so, but you're still getting the name.
You're still getting the notoriety, like, oh, he worked with so and so. So that was feeding my ego, right, Stone? Get it?
Totally
Get it?
understand now. I totally understand
Yeah.
now. But and I think, God, even I think this it might have been
Hmm.
a little bit different if you had it now, because maybe hopefully you would have
That's
known,
correct.
that you could have created content around
That's
it and
correct.
said, I've just posted a little TikTok saying
Yep.
my
Here's my
music got,
song on this,
over
and
one
here's how
three,
you can do it too.
whatever, yeah. And then you could build that personal brand to get to that next,
Right.
yeah.
See,
Okay.
and I didn't know any of that.
Got it.
I didn't know any of that. All
Got
I
it.
knew was transaction. Give them the songs, you get the money.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. I didn't know how to build a personal brand. So that taught me, like, okay, there's got to be another business model where it's not just dependent
Right.
on my time. And that's how I found marketing, right? Because all that time, Stone, I was just marketing myself. That's all I was doing, right? Pitching myself via email, cold call, whatever. And then I was like, wait a minute. Other people pay people to do this for them because they don't have, like, let's be honest. Usually when people pay for outreach service, like email or LinkedIn, it's because they either don't have enough confidence to do it themselves and get rejected all day long, like you and I do, or because they don't have the time or budget. Right? And I realized, like, oh, I have a lot of confidence now. Let me leverage this confidence. Yeah. So then I was like 2015, I was like, okay, well, I'm working a security job. Let me start doing some cold email and start building my own brand, maybe build a little website and just put some feelers out there. Nothing, no bites, nothing, no clients, nothing like that. And then I went on Indeed.com while I was at my job, my security job, and I found this gig to be a marketing coordinator at a tech startup in Seattle. I applied and I actually got the job after applying to like hundreds of other things. So I got my way out of the security job, worked at the tech company, and then I realized, like, oh, this is what marketing is. I like this. And then that tech company went on to make like $4 billion, like massive company. It's called Cumulo, data enterprise storage, and stayed there for a while. It was just a quick contract. And then I got another opportunity. Okay, let's go work at Microsoft as a contractor. And this is where things started to get interesting, bro. This is where things start to get really interesting. Yeah.
Okay. And so now you're working at Microsoft. You're probably learning a lot more. Yeah. You're still going down the marketing?
Yeah. So I took a back door to get in.
Okay.
Project management marketing. The department's called procurement, so procuring things, people, supplies, right? So I was helping them with some marketing.
Got it.
And then that was a quick stint gig, contract gig. That gig ended. Cool. What do I do now? I feel like, I don't know what to do now, right? All right, man. So here's where the story takes a little bit of a turn. So this was August 1st, 2019. Decided, hey, I want to go play some basketball. I'm trying to, live a healthier life, stressed out with this work stuff. Let's figure some stuff out. I'm playing hoops, about 3 minutes in the game. I don't remember any of this, but this is exactly how it was told to me. Coming up the court, 3 minutes in the game, and all of a sudden I just pass out. I kneel down and I start screaming. And then my body's just unconscious, bro. And I had a cardiac arrest at 25 and was in an induced coma for 3 days.
Fuck.
And
huge left turn.
Huge. Bro, first thought I had, I remember waking up, I was like, holy shit, did I get shot? Like, was I in like a mass shooting? Because on the television screen, bro, when I woke up, that was what was showing, was a mass shooting. I think this was like Texas or something like that. So I was really scared, and I didn't see anybody I knew. I was like, oh shit, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then this feeling of despair kicked in that I never felt before. And the thought that came with that despair was, wow, if this would have been it, bro, then all that success you had in music, all this accolades, all these things, you still didn't meet your own expectation of happiness and success. Damn, you're a failure. Wow. That unlocked something in me, bro. That changed my DNA.
Yeah.
And it made me realize that life is actually not short. It's just urgent. That's it. And so from that day on, bro, when I woke up, I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting everything that I've always felt like I should deserve, that I want for myself and my family. And bro, I just went hard as shit.
Do you think that was almost like a sign or
like a wake up call kind of thing?
You needed to get that drive that you had in terms of like the music and everything, but more of like to strive for what you want. I mean, because I think a lot of people take every single day for granted. You know, and I see this so much too with you know, teenagers and young adults. You know, they'll get up and just, you know, watch Netflix and watch YouTube all day. And I'm like, you know, I had something. It wasn't even near the magnitude of that, but I had something that told me I need to wake the fuck up and contribute to society, contribute to the family, contribute to myself, contribute to my future self as well, you know, and make my future self proud. And so do you feel like you kind of had that kind of feeling too?
There's actually an element of shame in that, because part of me, even talking to you right now, says, nope, that's not what it is. I was successful enough. That's my ego talking. Honest Kevin will sit here and tell you, sure, from vanity metrics, 42 million box office, job at Microsoft. Yeah, that looks like a successful person on paper. But that's just paper. That's all it is, right? Stone having 250,000 followers on TikTok, that looks like success on paper. But we know only you and I know what we're actually capable of inside. And that's the difference. And so because I was acutely aware that I wasn't putting in 100%. Bro, I could have been way more anywhere in life. And
yeah, and I think it shifted the definition from just like what you just told me, shifted the definition of success for you. Because you saw what people think is success, right? You were getting the clout chasing, you were getting people loving you, you were getting teachers saying, hey, just take this exam off. And then you were faced with it and said, you know, I didn't get everything that I wanted in terms of happiness, in terms of relationships, in terms of whatever that is. And I think, you know, this is something that I'm so grateful to realize too, is I envision success being able to wake up every single day with a smile on your face and just excited for whatever you're going to do today.
There's
like that. I think is success.
I'm really glad we're talking about this, bro, because I've talked to my therapist so many times about this. What is success for real? Not just the fairy, you know, the success is doing this or doing this, right? Because there's so many people that want you to feel successful that they're willing to dumb down their version, right? It's not an or, it's an and. Success is Stone having the 250,000 followers and waking up with the smile. That was the shift. That was the understanding, was like, it's an and, not an or. Because you would not feel as success, you know, you would not feel like Stone right now, like the person that you are right now talking to me, without those things. They're not negative. They just coexist. And that was what was so hard for me to accept, bro, because part of me wants to say, oh, it's only the smile. It's only the fact you didn't die today. It's only the fact that this happened, right? It's all of it.
I love that. I love that. Okay, and so this was a huge left turn. Now
I'm in the hospital.
You know, you're woken up though, and let's fast forward just a little bit to where you start getting after it. what is that? What does that look
So
like?
the first part was, I actually had to learn how to not fully walk again, but part of my body had extreme atrophy. So when you go through a cardiac arrest like that, usually what happens is you have extreme brain damage or you're not able to do normal activities. For whatever reason, bro, that just didn't happen with me. It's just insane. I can't possibly rationalize it, bro, because I'm not even going to try. It's just, and so when I had that understanding, though, it did come with some side effects. So PTSD, right? Very severe PTSD. I'm talking about the stuff that you guys see in movies, right? With war veterans and stuff like that, okay? That first 3 months, you're having flashbacks. You're having you don't have the ability to walk outside without thinking that your heart's going to stop. And so when your heart does stop, there's a device in my body now called a defibrillator right here. And it's like an AED machine, but inside your body. So it shocks you. And so when that happens, right, your whole system is reset, like an operating system, like a computer. Like you turn down that MacBook, then right, and then you wake. That's literally what happens. So Stone, that happened a few times when I got out. So that's what I was dealing with, right? So that then I realized, like, oh, okay, I'm at, I gotta go get another job so I can get some benefits so I can pay for the surgery. This $250,000 surgery. Hold on, okay, let me go work at Microsoft for another gig and then leave in 6 months. That was my plan. That's exactly what I did. Got the benefits, took care of the surgery. Okay, we're good. But Stone, when I was at Microsoft, I realized, oh my goodness, I'm not the same anymore. I'm damaged, bro. So I went into the bathroom one day, and I thought I was having a cardiac arrest in the bathroom, bro. I couldn't move. And so I realized, like, oh, you can't work a corporate job anymore, bro. You have to be an entrepreneur. It's not a choice anymore. I always wanted it to be a choice.
So another shift.
Right? Because you and I, we want to be able to choose our freedom. And, we have the success story. I had oh, man. You can't even be in the boardroom anymore. Cav, you going to have a freak out. Right?
Yeah.
January 1st. Yep.
So
January 1st, bro. That's when I left.
So do you think, because this is something that I always try to figure out, and I'm back and forth with it, but do you think entrepreneurs are born and there is something just like, or maybe something along the way that kind of like shifts, like what happened to you, or do you think they develop, someone that is working a job that wants to become an entrepreneur can become one? But like a lot of entrepreneurs, big names, have a lot of mixed feelings about this. Like Gary Vee, I think, usually says that, look, in order to be a very big, strong, successful entrepreneur, you got to be one at heart and born an entrepreneur. And then there's other that are like, you could go to college and get an entrepreneur degree and become an entrepreneur. Okay. So where do you feel on that scale? Do you think like it was in you? You just it didn't come out yet, or what?
Honestly, dude, I didn't even get into the marketing department in school. Now I'm a guest lecturer at my alma mater, and I teach some of the classes as a guest. And so I can tell you from experience that that's only because of what I went through. Period. Right? And some people just happen to go through that when they're young with their family and business, right? If you run a business, like for example, Gary Vee, he got to run his dad's wine business. So he built.
Yeah.
So he wasn't. So he was born an entrepreneur. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think I didn't really figure this out until I was like a somewhat successful entrepreneur, but I think I was kind of developed an entrepreneur too, because I just remember this one story of my brother and I looking at a Big Five magazine. We saw a pocket knife. And at the time, we were so obsessed with it because we had cousins that were hunters, and we were kind of in that kind of realm. And so we were like, Pops, hey, we want this pocket knife. Get this pocket knife for us. And he goes, well, you gotta earn it. How much is it? $60. All right, well, you gotta earn $60. And so that was
Yep.
kind of the shift for my brother and I to be like, how do we get $60? We're only 12, I think, at the time, 11. And we were like, lemonade stand. We had a huge table. We put it in the back of the pickup truck. Dad drove us down to the end of the street. We made, I think, like $80.
Nice.
Took the lemonade stand back. Got the.
So bro, like keep it.
I was so young.
Here's the thing, like, I sold my CD, my music CD in junior high, and hustled it to my teachers. That's definitely some born, right?
I think the blood is in there. I think it just needed it needed something.
It needs to be activated.
It needs the shift.
I guess you and I had enough of
right,
a
100%.
foundation, right? But we didn't have the building blocks, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I 100% agree with you. And I think we're because you had that shift, I had the same shift where I was just like, look, some feeling in me. I don't want to work a job. I don't want to be told what to do. But I need to, and I want to make money at the same time. But I was still working a job, and so I had an event that kind of shifted me, and it was like, I think it was, again, subconscious, probably like you, to where you were like, something with this corporate I can't deal with. I need to do something else, and that something else was an entrepreneur. So now going into becoming an entrepreneur, what was that looking like?
I had been attempting to market myself and other brands since I had the movie break, right? So I had a LLC and a brand name I'll approach. But until I made that plan to leave Microsoft in 2020, right, January 2020, I had no credibility, no clientele, all those kind of things. So that was the D-Day. Excuse me. And it was a shit show, bro. I'm not even going to front. First 3 months were a shit show. I was just emailing anybody I could. Didn't know what niche I was in. Signed up for some programs here. Learned this skill. Learned how to hire a VA. All that shit, And the grind.
Yeah.
And eventually one of the niches just stuck. I was like, oh, I'm really good at this LinkedIn shit. I had one of those back then when I was a songwriter, and I just wasn't using it the way I am now. Hold on a second. Right? And it all just kind of was like, oh. You probably could have got farther as a songwriter if you would have DM'd directly the brands that you wanted to pitch your music to. But no, you always worked with the middleman. So you always got a smaller cut.
Yeah.
So then it started to pick up, right? We started doing websites, right? We tried this, we tried that, VA service, right? And then it really started to kick in. I started having more complications with the heart. So I had more episodes, more shocks. I had another hospitalization in March of this year, 2022. And again, another click happened when I was in the hospital. I realized, like, oh my goodness, I need this business to run regardless if I'm in the hospital or not, period. No more half running. It needs to be all the way ran without me. The same way you would walk into Target and there's employees there, right? And I said, okay, I need to make this just as hands off as possible. Stop making different offers. Stop pivoting, all this stuff. And I just committed to the LinkedIn, bro. And when I committed to the LinkedIn, it just blew up. Just blew up, bro.
I love that.
And so our main service is we make people look like we take your minivan, old, outdated LinkedIn profile and make it look like a Rolls Royce. Luxury. And we bring that luxury to everybody because I believe everybody deserves luxury. Everybody deserves nice things, whether it's, Gucci bag or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be $500,000 for you to get a great premium service. Why? Why can't everybody have a LinkedIn profile that looks as good as mine? So that's what we did. We just crank them out. 2 this week, 3 this week, 5 this week, 6 this, right? Just start cranking them out. Then, okay, now we got budget. We can hire an ops manager to replace me in the day-to-day. Okay, now we're going to hire a content person, right? There you go. That's how it works, man.
I love that. And I think that's another shift that a lot of entrepreneurs, in order to get to that next level, need to have. especially in the content creation. Like if you're a creator, if you're an influencer or a consultant, in order for whatever business you have, the business is nothing without you for most cases, even including me. This is what I'm building towards too, is allowing that business to operate without me. And so that way you can even sell it eventually too. Yeah. Because if someone's looking to buy it and you're leaving, they want to make sure that is going to, continue to bring
imagine
revenue,
like if they bought Stone LLC and it only you could only deliver a service that included your face, you'd be in trouble. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, like the one-on-one consulting, like I can't sell that without me being attached to it. So I think that's a really good point. And now that we're caught up to like where you are now, now I want to dive into these audits, and because obviously they perform well for you in order to continue to do them, but also to hire other people and bring on more expenses, which means you're probably bringing in more revenue. So what do you, when you're going through a LinkedIn audit, a LinkedIn profile, what are maybe some of the most common things that you see people screw up, and some of the most common things you tend to fix?
Positioning is everything. So when you go to the movie theater, right, there's 3 sizes: small, medium, large. It's on purpose, y'all, that the large size is only like 50 cents more than the small. All of that stuff is intentional, right? And so with your LinkedIn profile, all you need to do is look better than all of your competitors. Think about that. All you need to do to attract more business in the beginning, and then before you start to do outreach from it, your profile, is to actually have a banner and a profile picture and a headline that is better than all of your competitors. Your competitors are going to, if they're a marketing agency owner, right? Your competitor is going to say, founder at ABC Marketing. That doesn't tell what problem you solve and how you can help. It should say, I help doctors retain more patients with reputation management or Google Ads or whatever your service is. That's a huge difference. That's like half of the battle right there. It's just actually telling people how you can help them, and stop putting all this weird jargon on your LinkedIn, bro. Like no one cares that you have the XYZ method that books 100 appointments a week. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
That's so true. I mean, that's so true. And I think the same applies to even TikTok too. It's like, quit wasting the first 3 seconds of your video and saying, hey guys, welcome back to my video. I'm in this video. Like,
talk to him, Stone.
Are you kidding me? You got, I mean, come on. Like, that was probably the biggest piece of advice that I got when starting out on TikTok was, one of my brother's buddies goes, look, Stone, no one gives a shit who you are when you post a video. They just want watch time. They just want dopamine. They just want whatever they want for them. And it's the same thing with LinkedIn. I mean, it's the same thing with LinkedIn.
Shit, man. They want to know if you can make them look good and make them make more money. Why do people buy stuff? Right. It's because you can solve their problems, bro. That's it. If you can't solve the problem, they don't want to talk to you. I always can solve the problem. Every single person on planet Earth that has a business wants more customers. And LinkedIn, if you're in a B2B situation, is the best way to do that, because you can simply type in Sales Navigator, your premium LinkedIn account, I want to target all of the dentists in the Philly area, right, who posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. You can't do that with a Facebook ad, bro. It's just, you just can't. There's just no way to do that.
It's true.
So, yeah, if you,
Yeah, I mean, that was another thing I wanted to get into was like, what do you see are like the most like big, like the biggest important like factors why people should get on LinkedIn? Like, talk as if you're talking to, a curator, a health and wellness curator, or, a cooking curator that has a little back end business, but doesn't really know about LinkedIn, or it doesn't even have to be a curator. It could
like
be
a service
business,
provider or somebody.
It could be anyone that just doesn't know about, doesn't know about LinkedIn, thinks that it's just for hiring, like why get on LinkedIn? What's your elevator pitch about
Yeah,
LinkedIn?
man, I love this question, Stone. You asked the right questions, bro. So let's just be honest for a second. Nobody visited your website, bro. Nobody cared that you put up a brand new website in WordPress that cost you $5,000 from somebody on Fiverr in India, right? And you got 0 customers from that effort. You want to know why you got 0 customers? You can't tell people to just go to your website without spending money. It's called traffic. But on LinkedIn, guess what? All the traffic is just there. And all you have to do is look good on your profile and then simply reach out to the people you want to do business with. And if you're savvy enough to say something that's not dumb, right? Like one of my favorite things, I have on my website, allapproach.com, man, we have these free scripts that we give people, right? If you go to the footer, you can download them. Bro, just download the scripts. They're free. And all you got to do is just be like, yo, mind if I ask you a question? Sure, what's up? Were you, like, if I wanted to get a customer for my service, LinkedIn profiles, I'd just say, were you aware that your LinkedIn profile actually has some critical issues, optimization issues that are hurting your brand and your sales? Were you aware of that? No, Kevin, I wasn't aware of that. It's that simple, bro. Y'all ain't asking the right questions.
So what I'm hearing from you is that it's a better platform to give yourself a chance to provide that value that you're providing. You just gotta pitch yourself well and tell yourself, hey, like, it seems like you're struggling with X, Y, and Z.
Right. Let's do a couple examples, bro.
Especially with these.
Yeah, let's do a couple of live examples. So let's say you have health and fitness, right? And you help moms. Hey, I'm a fellow mom, right? Start off the conversation kind of light, and then she'll be like, yo, were you aware that there's this group for moms just like us? It's free. Were you aware of this? Oh, no. Send me the link. Got them in your Facebook group. There you go. Yo, you're just not asking the right question. You're coming across as somebody that's desperate for their business. You're not desperate for their business. You're desperate to win. I get that 100%. I'm desperate to win. I'll admit it. I want to win every day. I don't want to lose. But there's a difference between desperate for someone else's approval and business versus your internal desire. Because clearly, bro, like you and I, like, we want to win, and we want to be around people like that, and they're going to understand that energy. So just communicate in a way that's exploratory, just curious. Were you aware? That type of language, not want me to book you 100 appointments this week, right? Nah, bro.
Yeah. Well, and I think if you read
great book,
How to Win Friends and Influence People, LinkedIn is like the perfect outlet for you to utilize that information, for you to gas people up, for you to build those connections, for you to say, hey, you're doing X, Y, and Z well, but let me tell you that you can just do this for free, or join this for free, or check out this for free, and maximize X, Y, and Z. And so it's more of just providing value. It's more of just building that connection, which I always tell people, knowledge and connections are the two most important things in your life, because those are the two things that are going to make you money.
100%. And
money will come and go.
Right. You can even go deeper on that, Stone. Yeah. The knowledge, right, is what actually keeps me alive. Because if I don't have knowledge of when I'm going to go into cardiac arrest, then I'm going to hit my head and bleed out. Right.
But also how you can limit that too.
Right. Exactly. So it's applied knowledge, as you know, right? It's applied knowledge. And I choose to apply different things in my life at different times. But one of the things too, Stone, is we got to stop shaming ourselves and having that negative inner talk. That is never going to get you to where you want to go, bro. I don't care if you're making $5 a day or $50,000 a day. You talking to yourself like you're supposed to have it all figured out. Like nah, dude, like, you know how many days I wake up and I'm like, damn, my heart's not feeling good today. Bro, I can't move right now. I have PTSD. I don't want to talk to nobody. That shit happens like twice a week. Still. I'm 3 years post my first cardiac arrest. And I can't feel ashamed about that. I can't start to act different. I can't. Nah, that's all that energy, man. That doesn't belong to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and yeah, 100%. And I think the one thing that I realized is when you were talking about that negative energy, that negative voice in your head, a lot of that roots from your environment and from the people that you are around. Someone else put that voice inside your head, which goes back to the point of how important your connections and your circle of influence are, right? Like anyway, I mean, seriously, I think even teenagers and kids could get on this platform, and I think, you know what, this would be fantastic. Actually, I think I might make a video about this because this is amazing. A 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old could get on LinkedIn, can search up, you know, their ideal mentor, their person, the person that's living their ideal life, connect with them. Hey, love what you're doing, love X, Y, and Z, been watching your content, been doing this, been doing that, been buying your product, whatever the case may be. You know, I wanna learn from you. I wanna work with you. I'll work for you for free for 90 days, 60 days. All I want is knowledge and connections. Right,
that direct communication
LinkedIn gives you.
Where else are you going to be able to talk to a COO?
That's what I think.
Walmart. You're not going to be able to Facebook that guy. No.
Yeah.
No. So, absolutely, Stone.
I realized the power of LinkedIn once I you know, you're on TikTok. I was on TikTok. I have this huge following, right? And a lot of people follow me, and I could see that, and I'll follow them, and I can build that connection, right? But a lot of people that I follow, if they're not following me, I can't really build that connection. And I'm like, oh, you know, a Grant Cardone and Alex Hormozi, X, Y, and Z, that would be great to have that connection. I'll go on LinkedIn and connect with them. And the reason why I say Alex Hormozi is because that was one person that I connected with, and he accepted that invitation. Boom, open DMs.
See?
Open DMs.
See, that's nuts. That's exactly what it's supposed to be, bro. Because your influence can transfer platforms. You're still Stone in real life. People forget that, bro. Just because Stone has 250,000 on this platform and 10K on this platform, that's just vanity metrics. He's still the guy that can deliver the value to the brand.
What's highlighted on LinkedIn, I think. Instead of the entertainment, it's value. And so Alex sees me and goes, he can provide value, but he sees me on TikTok.
He might not even know, but he's still gonna know you the one.
Because there's so
he's
much
gonna know you the wonder
exactly.
boy. He gonna know
exactly
just because based on your profile. Like if you have a good profile, he's not gonna question it, right? So,
right, yeah. I mean that's so true. I mean that LinkedIn is just like a better outlet and a better platform in order for you to get connected with those people that you want to get connected with, and even just I think too it's very similar with TikTok in the way of you could create content on LinkedIn and it could reach thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people like that. It's free attention at scale, just like TikTok, but more B2B, more, you know, people that are working, that are striving for greatness, which I think is better, you know, and obviously I think it's a different content deliverable. You know, majority of the time you're typing, you're doing
it's not a ton of video compared to TikTok
type of thing, or maybe but you know, like. That was one question I had for you is if you're thinking of creating content on LinkedIn, what are some key things to think about in order to reach new people or to reach the people that you want to reach? You know, maybe is it because I'm starting to see the hook is more of a I never believe I would have done this in my life, but I did it and it changed my life. You're kind of, you know, it's those, or like this one story. I remembered this one story.
It's always like a dramatic...
Whatever it is. But I'm realizing things like that. Right, yeah. So what are some key kind of like bullet points or things to think about?
First thing you want to do is, after your profile is optimized, right? You want to just ask yourself a really honest question. Are you going to be the one making the content and being consistent? Or do you need to hire somebody? Because LinkedIn's not one of those platforms where like, You're going to make a TikTok video and it's going to be entertaining, right? And then it's going to go viral and then people are going to, it's not that kind of vibe. It's more like for example, if I shared my heart story, right? And I was giving you a bird's eye view of what, my inner thoughts as I'm having a cardiac arrest, that would easily go viral because that level of vulnerability is not something that people are usually comfortable articulating in a really clear, concise LinkedIn post. It's gonna, wait a minute, let me stop scrolling. He did what? Right? So you're gonna want to, step one, go to loom.com, right? Loom.com, great platform for making videos. And you're just gonna start practicing making more of that business style video. And if I was you, like, for example, if you're a fitness coach, you're going to want to start making like 3-minute videos where on the Loom, even if you don't have a camera crew or anything, just make little videos with your face and then share your screen and go through your templates of how you work with clients. This is how I helped somebody lose 20 pounds this week. And then show them the screen of you actually doing the work with the client or how you take them through that transformation. That's going to get people's attention, bro. Not the TikTok style video of you saying 5 ways for you to lose weight. That's not going to perform on LinkedIn the same way. So it's transparent. Vulnerability.
So it's transparency. It's transparency with the value.
Yeah.
And then transparency with your story.
That's correct.
And your struggles and experiences. I love that. And it's similar with similar with TikTok to a degree. I think in order to build a community on TikTok, you need to be transparent.
Because we've seen
you need to be authentic.
We've seen so many creators on TikTok, 2 million, 5 million views, but none of us feel connected to them. We don't even know what they actually do in real life besides dance, bro. Like what's going on?
Or they're not making a dime because they haven't built that strong community to whereas if people are like, hey, provide me something, I will pay for it. That's what happened with me. Like people were literally like, review my account. I love it. I love it. Just like DM me or Venmo, something. Cash I'll Venmo you. And I'm like, I'm like, you know what? I need to figure out something so I can just, set it.
Love it, bro.
Yeah, and that's exactly where Stan came into play. So I love that. It's really the transparency with just your experiences. Whether it be the work you do, whether it be the like I said, the failures, the experiences, the achievements that you went through, share all of that shit on LinkedIn. But I think another good point that you brought up is be true to yourself if you're going to stay consistent with this in terms of creating the content or if you need to hire
Nothing
someone
wrong with
else.
a ghostwriter, bro.
You either invest your time into creating the content. Right. You're right. Either invest your time to do it or invest the money for someone else to do it. I love that. Is there anything maybe in terms of like
conversion, like if you're a business
converting, from the content? Yeah, so from the content, and then we'll kind of get into the DMs and how to convert there. We kind of did with the scripts, but with the content, like what call to action? Do you do a call to action, or is it kind of just like give value?
So if your posts are really doing well on LinkedIn, like I've had several posts, where I do a poll, and I'll just be like, hey, do you think your LinkedIn profile turns heads? And people want to be honest and vulnerable and type and vote because they know no one else is going to see it, right? So that's exactly how you do it, right? It's just a lead magnet. That's all it is, right? So that's my favorite way to get clients with content on LinkedIn. And then my other favorite way is influencer marketing. Partner up with another creator or somebody who has a bigger audience than you and provide a lot of value to their audience, and it's gonna work out, bro. You're people are overcomplicating it. This is business 101. Over deliver so that even if they under deliver to you, guess what? You still won. Their audience is still gonna love you.
Oof. That's huge,
right? People are really concerned, as you know. So I'm like, well, what if they don't give me any sales? I hire this influencer, they don't give me any sales. What about this? What about? bro, you're never gonna get anywhere with that mindset. Period. Period. You gotta over deliver always.
Yeah. I think that's so true. So true. So true, especially when it comes to the brands. I see it time and time again. Brands will even come to me and be like, hey, how do we do this influencer marketing thing? By the way, everyone listening, watching, a lot of these brands don't know how the fuck to do any of this. So they come to me and they're like, or I even work with brands, some brands, and they're like, yeah, we want to do one post, right? Or, you know, brands will come, yeah, we just want to do one post with other influencers. We want to just test them out. I'm like, look, some influencers probably don't even know how to create your content, you know, or how to create a good video with your product, you know, in it. And so you're chasing the million followers, the consistent views, right? But those consistent views and consistent followers, there's a reason behind that. It's because the creator is probably creating videos catering
don't hurt
towards
him,
that,
Stone.
right?
Don't hurt
and
him.
so if they're trying to, and so if they're trying to implement a product in that, not only is it going to flop, but that brand is going to say, oh, you have a consistent 50,000 views. Let's pay you, you know, $5,000, $4,000. And it's like, I would rather you say, you know, multiple deliverables. Let's do 2 deliverables a month, right? Do 3 months, 6 months, boom. Now you got multiple deliverables.
Get to know the audience
with the same person. You're building the nurture. Yeah, and the audience gets to know the brand, right? And gets to know the connection with the creator and the brand. And so now you're converting on a way bigger scale. And I even saw this with my Stan partnership. I mean, the first month, my audience did. My audience did say, you know, oh, is this an ad? Oh, this is just another. They did. And I'm like, look, this is like, I had to really, you know, build that connection and trust. And then now when I make a Stan post, it's, oh, I created a Stan store, but I don't know how to change my color. How do you make a one-step checkout funnel? How do you attach your pixel? So it's more they're coming along with you, and then other people that are not using the Stan store are seeing that and getting that FOMO feeling of, oh, I'm missing out on something.
Brother, you are giving so much game
you know,
to
that's
the
what
other creators right now. Like, I'm almost wanting to stop you. I'm just kidding, because I don't, because this needs to be in your course, right? Because I don't want them to, you know. But we were just talking about that. Don't always over deliver, right? So,
right, yeah. But that's it's such a good point. You know, like influencer marketing is such a good way, and I'm sure, especially on something like LinkedIn. You know, you can definitely leverage different audiences and even different audiences on other platforms that might not be aware of LinkedIn, just like how we're doing right here, and saying, look, you know, the people that are on TikTok, it's great, you're on TikTok, but there's another platform that's super underrated that is not getting the exposure that it should be getting because it just doesn't have this entertainment element. And that's why I think LinkedIn hasn't gotten the mainstream exposure that it deserves, because you know, TikTok had the guy on the longboard drinking the cranberry juice, getting on every news network around the world.
Yeah,
right?
You're right,
LinkedIn,
bro.
there's really nothing like that. And if there is, it's not getting on the Today Show or Good Morning America.
The people we look up to the most, the actors, the Keanu Reeves, Oprah Winfrey's, their LinkedIn profile doesn't look good. And that hurts the overall platform. Because then people don't want to take it serious, right? So that's part of it, right? Your favorite artist has a TikTok and it's optimized. Your favorite artist, if you look up Rick Ross or Drake on LinkedIn right now, it's just gonna have their photo. That's it. That is the difference, right? Is that small businesses are using LinkedIn and some of them care about how they're being presented, but the major global brands, Kanye West, Drake, you go to their profile, man. Like I audited Oprah's profile as a, part of my little celebrity series I like to do, right? My man. Nah.
Love it.
I love Oprah too. I've done work for Oprah Winfrey Network, music work, background cues. Bro, her profile is like one photo, outdated banner and like, my name's Oprah and I inspire people. Like, what?
I'm starting to notice this too. I mean,
Yeah.
even one of my favorite YouTubers, Graham Stephan, his LinkedIn profile is still his image is still the image of him when he was 18 years old,
Yeah,
got
man.
his real estate license, and I'm like, no banner, the
The no
little
one's
blue,
home banner.
blue banner. I'm like, dude, you could. Yeah, the no one's home banner. I'm like, dude, you could be building so many connections. You could be, just. I know people that are just dominating on LinkedIn specifically. Like, I know people in terms of just like the marketing space that don't even really screw around with TikTok.
I'm one of those.
And just
I just
dominate
got
on
my
LinkedIn.
TikTok profile like 4 weeks ago.
100%.
And there's nothing on it yet, but there will be.
Yeah. But they're dominating the business realm because they're like, I think it's like business, and then it's like, consumer, it's B2B and B2C. And that's what it is. And once people start to realize that, like, especially once they start to start a business, they need to have LinkedIn in there.
Here's the scary part, though, just some honest feedback and predictions about this whole LinkedIn thing. Remember how you said B2B, right? You can do B2B on TikTok and LinkedIn, but here's the thing. When it comes to B2C, you would think, oh, it's hard to do B2C on LinkedIn. You just need to reverse engineer it. So let's say you're the Gap and you're trying to get a strategic partnership with a new manufacturer, right? So then you can increase your sales to consumers. Well, that's a B2B relationship. It starts that way, right? You find the manufacturer you want to talk to. If you're the head of, whatever at Gap, go have the conversation, take it offline, get on a call. And then now you just created the partnership that increased your B2C. So it's just more strategy involved. You're still helping the end goal, which is sell more t-shirts, which is B2C. You just went to the B2B, right? You went to the person that could get it done versus going direct to the consumer.
Here's another perfect example for this, and I use it all the time. And I think a lot of creators listening and watching need to do this, is when you're thinking of working with a brand, instead of trying to work with the startups or the people that are emailing you, go for the big boys, because those big boys are willing to pay what you think you're valued at, because they get the money to, but also so that way you have it on your media kit and on your resume that you worked with a Walmart, that you worked with a Target, that you worked with whoever it might be, Corsair Gaming or whoever it is, right? And you can build that connection with LinkedIn that's not only going to increase your B2B with, more brand deals and things like that, but also go to your audience and say, hey, look, I just partnered up with Walmart. I just partnered up with Target.
I need this person's product.
Now
Give me a shirt.
Holy shit, just right. You're right. Especially if you're now that I'm thinking about it, especially if, if I was catering more towards brands in terms of brand strategy on TikTok, shit, I'm trying to reach out to every single big brand, and if I was doing Walmart's, heck, you bet your ass that I'm getting
We're gonna have to talk about that offline.
saying, look, I've done Walmart's TikTok.
I think the easiest way to get their attention stone in that scenario for you is to send them a personalized Loom video that none of the other creators were willing to do. Audit all their stuff right there. Just be like, hey, my name's Stone. This is
such a great point.
This is my media kit. Were you aware that your TikTok page, right? And then deliver the value. Hey, here's in the comment section.
Just providing value.
There's a link to schedule a call with me if you'd like to talk about how I can help you with your brand strategy. Walmart, Gap, JCPenney. And none of your competitors are doing that, bro. It's just a fact. No, because it's an ego thing, and it's also a excuse thing. A lot of people will say, well, they don't have enough time. You really think people that are making real money, multi 6 figures, multi 7 figures, whatever, those people know how to delegate, bro. So if they really wanted it done, it would be done.
Right. But also, I think they have time. You just gotta make them utilize the time for you, and the way you do that is by providing the value first, not asking, "Hey, how can I be of service And no, we don't want you. And it's the same thing with, and anyone could apply this. You know, if you're a fitness, creator, or provide someone a meal plan, provide someone a workout program.
Oh yeah. If I was a fitness person, oh my goodness, bro, go to actually.
Oh my God.
One of my clients, I helped them land Peloton, and bro, yeah, it was like a $20K a month retainer, and it was some diversity, equity, and inclusion consulting, and part of the reason why it's so genius and why LinkedIn's amazing, it just, you don't always have to go to the CEO. It is the director of strategic partnerships. It is the head of HR. It is the head of media buying. And those people actually want to get promoted. So you're helping them look good. Make them look good. Oh, we brought the Stone Kid in. He increased our sales by 250% this quarter. That person's getting a raise. What are we talking about? Come on now.
So true. It's the same thing. I think it's the same thing when it comes to, I mean, you can apply this with anything and everything in life. It's just like providing value first. Over deliver.
Exactly. I've already done the audit.
Say, I've already done this for you. You know, like if you were, if you were a social media manager, instead of saying, "Hey, can I manage your social media?" or "Do you need anyone to manage your social media?" Give them and say, "Look, I took your TikTok watermark off all these 5 videos. They're ready to be posted on your Instagram. All you have to do is hit publish, and I read out. And then here's what they're going to say, Stone. They're going to go with them.
Well, isn't that them just stealing my work? That's only going to happen if you're talking to broke people. You do that to me, you do that to Stone, we're going to look at you and go, okay, hold on a second. Has this person actually got good skills? Are they a good copywriter? Oh, this is brilliant. I'm hiring them in-house. That's the first thought that comes through our head. It's not, how can I steal this and then act like I made it?
100%. That's how I've hired a lot of editors in the past. They'll take my a copywriter. I hired a copywriter one time. They took my 3-minute video.
Oh yeah.
Put it all in a blog.
Yep.
A nice blog, and was like, boom, right here. All you have to do is put it on LinkedIn or put it on your website or whatever. I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah. Can this person do this with every one of my videos and put out a blog every single day? Yep.
That's what's big, and you got to get out of that mindset.
That's what's big, is providing people value. Idea.
I'd be more concerned about being useless. You don't want to be in that situation I was in, waking up from a coma going, damn, I didn't over-deliver. I under-delivered my life. Nah, bro. You got to over-deliver in your own life, in your personal life, your relationships, your brand deals, all this stuff, because then anybody that's ever upset at you for any reason, the only negative thing they can ever say about you is that you're too intense. And that's not a negative thing. It just means you want to win. It just means you want to win.
You provide too much value.
Yeah. That guy who was too intense.
You provide too much value.
And it was too, we weren't in alignment. Oh, that's just because you ain't winning.
Yeah, that guy gave me a DM and he gave me a whole meal plan.
Then he dared me to get on a sales call and I didn't like it.
Better myself.
Yeah, that's because they were broke. Come on, bro.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, this is really, really good. And I think the point that you brought up with, you can go to someone that's below the CEO and provide them value and say, heck, this is going to make me look good. Let me bring it up to the big boy. And now you're making that connection with the big boy. Right. And so that's such a good point. I think LinkedIn is a really good, really mandatory resource for a lot of people to get on, especially if you're listening to and watching to this episode and to this podcast. And if you're even just watching me, I know that you are, definitely a creator or an entrepreneur in some circumstance.
And funny story,
you need to get on LinkedIn. So
saw Stone's content organically on TikTok before we connected. So for those of you who don't actually believe that there's a way to have inbound lead gen, okay, living proof. Okay, so I met Stone because his content was over delivering for the resources and the knowledge I was looking for to learn about TikTok. I didn't know anything about it. So he was over delivering his videos, and I said, I got to talk to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I got to know more. I got iron sharpens iron. I got to talk to him. I got to know him.
Yeah.
And that's all it is, bro. That's what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I've built so many connections just off of LinkedIn, and so many people have provided me value off of LinkedIn. Like, one of my biggest mentors, he's a CEO of a supplement company. He looked at my LinkedIn profile and saw that I worked at a supplement shop, and just said, DM'd me and was like, "Hey, what's your address? I want to ship you supplements." And I was like, "Okay, ship me supplements." I go, "Why do you want to do this? Why did you do this?" He goes, "I saw that you worked at a supplement shop," and just provided me value, free supplements. Yeah. He knew that I worked out. He knew that I worked at a supplement shop. So, and now we talk, almost every other day. It's just a great connection. So I think LinkedIn is definitely a platform that everyone and anyone watching and listening needs to get on. Kevin, what are some things that you want to plug or for?
Absolutely. So let me over deliver, because most of the time when people say this, like right, they just give you some bullshit handles. Follow me at da-da-da. Why don't I just give you some value right now? Anybody who will listen to this podcast right now, okay? You want a free LinkedIn profile audit, meaning I will personally send you a 5-minute video, me personally, of me auditing your profile and telling you what's wrong with it and how you can make it better, okay? For free. Nothing in return. No sales call, nothing. All you need to do, okay, DM Stone or DM me, right? Our website's allapproach.com. My Instagram is LinkedIn Plug, and my TikTok is LinkedIn Plug. So yeah, shoot us a DM, visit our website. If you want to get in touch with us, you'll know how to get in touch with us, right? Because that, like we were talking about, when people over deliver, you want to reciprocate. And so that's what I want to do for Stone's audience, for all of you listening today. Of course.
I love that. I love that so much. Thank you so much, Kevin. And everything that he just mentioned and everything that you need to know about and check out is going to be all linked in the description. But also, like he said, you can DM either me or him, and we can get you dialed up on LinkedIn. Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. Make sure to just share this podcast and this episode with one person. It got to you. Let's get it to one more person, whether it be your grandpa, your grandma, your uncle, aunt, cousin, friend. I don't give a shit. It got to you. Let's get it to one more person. That would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and make sure to follow me on my socials, linked in the description as well.